Good morning, good morning. All right, so first thing I'm looking at here is the Qs. As usual, we always mark our pre-market high, pre-market low. And man, we are blasting outside of pre-market high today. So we got the previous day high up here. Blue dotted line is the pre-market high, pre-market low. And we're blasting above pre-market high right now. We're so strong. So, of course, as always, we wait for the 15-minute candle closure. And we saw that the 15-minute candle closure, just like, that's as strong as it gets. Like, no wicks, nothing, right? So nice. So now, we want that retest. Beautiful flag here, but you can't take that underneath pre-market highs. So, yeah, we want to wait for a retest. And then we're going to go long above this zone right here. This is the zone right here. We're going to go long right there. Textbook stuff as always. As always, same game plan. We want to see that first 13 EMA tap. And that's where we're going to go long. Just want to wait for that retest now. God damn, that looks nice. Man, we are strong today. Holy. This is crazy strength. Out the gate too this early. Like, it usually doesn't happen till about like after 10 a.m. Eastern. This is crazy. So we're waiting for that 13 to catch up. And by the time it catches up, hopefully we get a nice controlled retest. We don't want a nasty retest. We want a nice controlled retest so we can start averaging into that position. First 13 EMA tap. We get in there. Crazy. Look at the strength. Unreal. Yo. Ro Ferrero, what's up, man? Thanks for joining, bro. Yeah, this is crazy strength. Crazy strength. Are you going to be long in the Qs too, or what are you looking at? This is my top watch for sure, is the Qs. So strong. It's probably NVIDIA, MU, and AMD bringing us up. I don't look at the Dow, bro. I don't look at the charts. I don't mark the levels. What's the ticker? What's the exact ticker? I can peep it real quick. Nutty strength though. My God. What is the Dow? Yeah, give me that ticker. Just paste that ticker in here so I can paste it in the chat. US 30. Let's check it out. This one? Is this what you're looking at? So if this is the one you're looking at, I would mark the pre-market high, pre-market low, always. So this is the range that I would be looking at, and then yesterday's close. So yesterday's low. So it'd be right here. And then yesterday's high. 630. So this is your range. So you're doing an inside day right now. So you're inside previous day range. So you could play a flag break outside of pre-market high, pre-market low, and ride it to, you know, previous day low, previous day high. Lower probability trade. So I would just like size down on that because you're doing an inside day, right? Outside days, so outside of previous day high, outside of previous day low, those are more, you know, a size on type of trade. But here you don't have like a lot, like obviously you got room, but again, you're in an inside day, a little choppy-ish here. I would do smaller size here if you're going to trade this, or just wait for it to get outside the range. So two scenarios: pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day low, previous day high. Yeah, that's what I would do. Smaller size in here, right? Smaller size, a little bit smaller size, and then max size outside, as long as it sets up and confirms. 15-minute confirmation. You need a 15-minute confirmation outside pre-market high or pre-market low. So a 15-minute candle has to close outside these levels. Has to close. And like a convincing close. Like look at this convincing close. Like that's a convincing close. Like that close with no wicks up top. So like let's say this whole thing was a wick, I wouldn't be as inclined. I wouldn't like it as much. So the 15-minute candle close has to be good. All right, let's dial in this entry here for Qs. We're coming back in here. So first 13 EMA tap, like anywhere around here we get a flag break, it's on. Always wait for the retest here. No chasing. Like as nice as this looks right now, like average is horrible. I don't want to be in right here. Because I know that first tap of the 13, as soon as I get here, this is my risk. So I want to wait for that. Even if this thing surges past these highs, I want to wait. As much as I want to get in, I want to wait. We're strong, man. We're strong. Crazy strength. Does that make sense, bro? What I said about Dow Jones? The 15-minute candle closure is like really important in my playbook. Like I want to see that closure, or else I'm not going to be as inclined to take that because it just could be a sweep or fake out. So the 15-minute sweep, like I want to see a closure outside these levels now. Smaller size within previous day range, more size outside. So that's what I would do. but you want a convincing 15-minute closure. Pre-market is, these are the levels right here. 49,865, 49,646. So it's the low anytime after 1 a.m. Pacific, so 4 a.m. Eastern. That's going to be the low. And then the high is going to be the high of today's session, pre-market. So these ones right here. So 4 a.m. Eastern low, and then like anything before 9:30 a.m. Eastern highs. Anything before market open highs, and 4 a.m. Eastern lows. That's how I get my pre-market range. Okay, good we didn't chase that. Got that nasty little inverse hammer, so that would have been a bad chase. That's why we wait. We want to wait for this thing to catch up. So once we see this thing catch up, this thing's going to smooth out. It's going to come like this. And then slowly, I want to see a slow controlled retest into this 13. Dope. I'm glad, bro. I'm glad I could clear that up. That's my playbook every day. Pre-market high, pre-market low, previous day high, previous day low. And then I'll wait for a 15-minute candle closure above or below that level. A convincing one. Not one that's like a doji or super wiki. That's going to make me think like that's probably not going to hold. So I want to see a candle, like a solid one. Like look at this one. Like a solid candle closure above. That's like pure strength, right? That's why we got this following move. So that's what I want to see. If that happened above this level and this flagged above this level, man, that would have been just perfect. That would have been so sick. Because then we just take that flag break here right above that level. And we could have already been done for the day. Closed it up. But it happened below that level, so I couldn't take that below that level. So now I'm waiting for the 13 tap. I want to see this 13. I want to see a flag come into the 13. So I'm likely going to start with 4 or 5 contracts here, and then I'll add 4 or 5 more. All right, 13 EMA coming in, and we're going to get that first tap. If I get a tap and a hold, like this, if I see a candle like this, you know, taps and then starts bouncing off that 13 and starts holding that 13, we're going to get a starter. And then I'm going to try to add 5 more if we get continuous candles like that, making higher highs. I'll start averaging into my position. But if we get a candle closure below and then a break below, I'll cut that and then I'll reevaluate. That's my plan here. Because it might also retest the pre-market high if that 13 doesn't hold. So 2 scenarios here for the dip buy. Just got to wait for it. It's coming in. See, it's good we didn't chase that, right? This would have been so nice above pre-market high, but happened just below. But this is what you want to see. Like this price action is what you want to see. This is like textbook price action, right? Like we had that surge and now we're just consolidating sideways. Sideways. This is clean. This is clean consolidation. This is really nice. This is what you want to see. Perfect flag here. Now we're just waiting for this 13 to catch up a little bit. Little flag break. And then we go in. But above previous day high, above pre-market high, that's as A+ as it gets. Literally as A+ as it gets. So It's coming slowly. I think we got data in a minute here as well, so it might be good timing to just wait on that as well. Data 10 a.m. It's orange folder, so not as significant, but it's still data and it still could do something. So it's good. This is kind of working out to wait for that data here. 45 seconds, 50 seconds. Yeah, not long yet. I want to be long, but I'm not long yet. I got to wait a little bit for this 13 EMA to come in. Because no matter what, man, every day we get a tap of the 13. And the first tap is usually the strongest. So chasing this right now is lower probability for me because we haven't had that tap yet. Like, it looks so good. Like, I want it. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for that tap. We got data in 10 seconds here. Damn, look at the strength. Crazy. There's the data. There's the data. Holy. Crazy. That was a 40-point pop. 50-point pop. So that was the data that did that 20 seconds ago. Coming back in. Sick flag. Sick flag, but I want to see that 13 tap. Get closer to the 13. Yeah, strength is crazy, man, today. I think it's MU, NVIDIA, and AMD. Semiconductors are going crazy today. They're pretty much doing all the heavy lifting. And like, look at the EMAs. See how they're starting to fan out? This is like what you want to see. This showing me that we got, like, this is confirmed. Strength is confirmed completely. Because if the EMAs are like this, that's telling me I'm not touching anything. This is not good. EMAs are not good. So when you see them fan out this strongly, that's when you know strength is in. And it's just, it's clear, right? Like, this is A plus strength. So now we just wait for this retest here. It sucks, right? Like, you want to FOMO into this, but been burned way too many times. It's better to wait. I'd rather be late than early, by far. See what SPY is doing. SPY confirmed as well, but SPY's looking all right for sure. Looking at SPY long as well, just because it's earlier in the trend. So this one we're still a little bit behind, so it's above pre-market high here. So Q's is a bit gone right now, so I'm looking at SPY. Gonna maybe get a starter in for 5. SPY's a lot earlier in the trend, so I want to look at 5 starter contracts here. Just waiting. We're right above pre-market high here. Basing. Starter 5. I'll start with 5 and then I'll add if it comes back around here. Still not in. Just waiting. Okay, I'm going to start with 5.
Filled.
5 starter, and then I want to add 5 more. If we get some holds. Nice holds into the 13. We haven't touched the 13 yet. Stop is going to be below my pre-market high. So around this zone is going to be my stop. If we get a candle closure, I'll stop out and reevaluate. So that's why we do a starter, right? We do a starter. It has to prove it to us that it's going to hold. And then I'll add if it can prove it. So now we're retesting pre-market high 13 EMA almost here, almost at 13 tap. So looking like it wants to hold for now. See how this thing closes here in a minute. If we get a candle closure below pre-market high, then I'll reevaluate and stop out. But this is just a starter. So I want to see a nice hammer here. I want to see a hammer close. I don't want to see a big bearish engulfing close. I want to see a hammer close. I want to see this thing, little body up top, big wick at the bottom. That's what I want to see. I want to see an attempt of a hold here. Q still has not retested a 13 EMA, so it still needs to do that. Still needs to test the 13 EMA here. Let's see how this unfolds. I like the starter here, right above pre-market high. It's good. Good spot. If we get one more hold, then I'll add 5 more. I'll see a little bit. That's a good candle. That's a really good candle. Because here's pre-market high, so we're holding pre-market high. We're holding the 13. But it needs to hold. I want to see a hold of this 13. Same candle here. I want to see another one. Repeat. Let's see. Okay, so far looking okay. I'm also looking at the Qs as confluence as well, because Q has not touched the 13 yet. So in a lot of times, Q can come right back in, touch the 13, and then SPY springs off as Q springs off. I'm kind of watching them both at the same time here. SPY's looking good though. I like the hold so far. So far, a good hold. Okay, good hold. This is the zone, right? This is pre-market high right here where we're playing around in. So let's see the tap of the 13 here. See if it comes in. Q is doing the same thing. Coming right back into that 13. So here's our first 13 EMA tap. This is what we want to see right here. We want to see this hold. Here's where I'm looking to add potentially soon, but it has to hold, or I'm not adding. If it doesn't hold, I stop out. Just waiting. Waiting. I don't want to prematurely get out. See a nice wick off this 13. Give me some confidence to add. If this flips green for us, we add. If it closes below our zone, we stop out. Qs is coming back in for that 13 as well. SPY's bouncing off, so watching confluence between the two here. Here's Q's first 13 tap right here coming in. Okay, it's holding well for now. I like that look. Looking to add maybe here, just waiting. That's a good hold. I like that hold so far. I want to see a little bit more. Kind of want to see something like this now. Let's get a break of this flag. And then we add. Worst case, we stop out underneath here. Good flag though. Looks nice. I like these controlled retests. Bottom wick hammers. I like that. That looks good. But it has to hold. See a flag break. We add 5 more.
Order filled.
Okay, that's my add spot right there. I want to see new highs or simply stop out. Let's see. So kind of got in around here. So 2-hour minimum. That's going to be our de-risk spot right here. New highs. See what I mean with that 13 tap though? First 13 tap. Nice hammers, holding. Beautiful add. There we go. Now I want to see a break above these highs, and I don't de-risk until I hear my alarm. That was a nice spring off. I like the strength following that spring. That was really nice. So let's see how it goes. Gorgeous move, man. Gorgeous move. Love that. I want to see new highs. So we stopped right at these highs. I want to see us blast through these highs now. Let's see us blast through these highs. That was gorgeous. Literally exactly what you want to see off that 13 and past pre-market high. That's like a flag break. Just like that. Flag break, 13 EMA tap. Now we want to see this thing continue and coil over. Beautiful. Love that hold. There you go. Healthy chart. Looks good. Let's get a push. All right, I like that hold. Nice hold. Now we need this to flip green and pass these highs here, and we'll get another leg up. 10 seconds left on this candle. Flip green for us here. There you go. There's that flip. There's that flip. Love that candle. That's like the exact candle you want to see here. Just a nice little hammer. Tiny body at the top. That's good. There we go. There we go. There's that pop. All right. Now I want to hear my alarm. Before I take any off, I want to hear my alarm. Very close here. Very close. Not taking anything off until I hear my alarm. That was a nice pop. So let's see some continuation here. See the volume pick up. I want to see the volume pick up. Good volume on this one. Sick volume pop right there. Volume decreasing again, but I want to see a nice pop after this zone right here, and then we'll get our first de-risk spot. First scale spots at 2R. I'll take 75% off at 2R, and then I'll ride the rest break even, or 2.5R will be the next de-risk spot. But let's see, man. Let's see. I want to see sort of the same thing. Big wick off this low. Let's see this thing flip green here. Take off 7. Look around here. We can get it. Tempted to add 5 more here as long as we hold. It's a nice hold spot. So starter, add on the flag break, and we need to clear these highs here. We need to clear these highs, and then we'll hit our 2R minimum before we can de-risk. So far looking good. Nothing wrong with this chart at all yet. Wasn't a big fan of this candle, but it's just noise, right? It's just noise until it breaks my level. So if it doesn't break my level, it's just noise. I cannot look at this and freak out. You know, it puts alarm bells up because it's not a great candle. This is a great candle. This is not a great candle. But it never closed or broke my 13 even. So All good. I want to see this one now. Hit my alarm. That's a great candle. Just needs to have a little continuation here. Then we'll de-risk. 45 seconds left on that candle. Sure looks like she wants to hold. She looks like she wants to hold to me. Volume increasing. It's good. There we go. Let's get a nice little push here past these highs. And then we'll de-risk some. So far looking good though, man. Look, that's a nice close right there. Really nice close. Get a nice little surge past these highs now. We closed past this high. So let's get another little pop. Let's get that pop. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. I'm waiting for that alarm. Almost there. Almost there. Man, I don't like those pops and stuffs that much. Should have had a little bit more movement there on that. Should have had a little bit more movement there on that. Let's see. We're very close to our alarm spot. Very, very close. Just need one more push up. So close. Almost there. Boom. Hit it. There we go. There we go.
Order filled.
All right, cool. There we go. 75% off there. Sick trade. Sick trade. There we go. All right. Love it. Love it. 2R. 2R. We risked $1 to make 2. So now we're going to go till 2.5. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's that momentum. Okay. Let's go. One more alarm bell and we'll take off another contract and another alarm bell here. Fuck yeah. Look at that. Look at that, man. Beautiful stuff.
Order filled.
One more there. Now we'll do is we'll wait for 3.5R. 3.5R. And we'll take one more off there. Fucking beautiful, man. Beautiful stuff, man. On a Friday. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. You like that, eh? That was nice, man. Textbook stuff, man. Textbook stuff. So beautiful. Love it. Love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. That's it right there. We end a week, just flawless week, man. Flawless week. We're going to end a flawless week. Not the biggest P&L. So, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, like this is all about execution for me right now. So, getting close to passing this other funded here. And we'll have 2 funded in the barrel. 50K, 25K. Beautiful trade, man. So we got 2 contracts left. I'm gonna wait for the next alarm bell to hit, and then we'll take off another one and another one. So work of art, man. Work of art. Look at that. We mapped that out perfectly. Starter, add. I said I wanted to add here. I didn't. Would have been such a nice ad right here. Would have been such a nice ad. But I didn't like the stuffs that much. I didn't like this candle. So that kind of like just threw me off a little bit. I wasn't a huge fan of that candle, so I wanted to see more of these wicks, but it is what it is. That was sick. So now we're going to go break even on this, okay? So you see we got 45 running P&L. I do not want to be giving more than that running P&L back. So we realize 137, but I don't want to be giving back any money on this. So either we hit our next target, which is going to be 3.5R, or we're break even. Just sick trade, man. Beautiful trade. Good shit, man. Ro, did you take anything? Did you take your Dow or anything? I haven't checked Dow. Let me peep it. Dow's not doing nothing, man. So, like, it's between pre-market high, pre-market low. Slow mover. Nothing here. I don't look at the Dow at all, but, yeah. SPY was great. Like, see the first 13 tap? I talked about it literally all morning, man. All morning you heard me talk that I want the first tap. Look what happens to the first tap. Look at that. Look at that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like we bounced off these flags, but we never got that first tap. And look at the first tap. Beautiful coil over. So nice. So nice. Randy, what's up, bro? What's up, man? You missed this sick, I don't know if you were in this, but this sick SPY trade we're in right now. There it is. There it is, man. Let's go. All right, we're waiting for that next, waiting for this one to get taken out. I'm just waiting to see if we get more strength here, if I'm going to take it out manually. That was my alarm for 3.5R. That was so nice. Let's see. All right, I'm going to tag it out right there.
Order filled.
There we go. There we go. So nice, man. Look at that. Look at that chart. Rand closing the week off in profit. Attaboy, man. Good job. Good job, dude. Profit is good for the week. All right, so next one, we're going to go for 4.5R. And then when I hear that alarm, again, I'm going to take off. I'm going to trail the last one, okay? So I'm going to go candle by candle on the last one because we had such a nice R on this trade that I don't want to get greedy on this one. So I'm going to go candle by candle. I'm going to see how this one closes. So either it gives me 4.5R or I trail candle by candle here. Such a nice setup. Like, look at that setup. Look at that setup. Textbook stuff, man. Textbook stuff. So nice. Beautiful strength. Beautiful everything. Like, just holding the 13, surfing the 13, break and retest of the pre-market high above previous day high. Just textbook stuff. Good job, bro. Randy, you're in it? Ah, sick, dude. Sick. Did you get in on the pre-market high retest? Where'd you get in, Randy? Same entry as mine or different? That was so nice, man. That was like such a nice way to end the week. Such a nice way to end the week. I think Monday I had a red day. I lost like $200, nothing crazy. Made it back Tuesday and then been green ever since Tuesday. Just really good trading lately, man. Like, just in the last month, ever since I started going live here, it's just been solid trading. Solid trading. Taking a new gear here. All right, so I want to be careful with this runner here because that was quite the reject. We got the 13 here. So anywhere like below this zone, I'm going to stop out on my runners and just call it. But let's see. Let's see. Nice, Randy. That's dope, man. Great way to end the week. Beautiful stuff, boys. Beautiful stuff. We're all green. Let's go. All right, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see here, but I don't want to let this thing go too much lower because we had such a big return on our trade that if it breaks much more below this zone, I'm just gonna get out. It's good enough for me. Watching the 13 tap here. 30 seconds left on this candle. See how this thing closes. All right, bro. Thanks for joining, bro. We'll see you next time, man. See you next time. All right, I'm about to get out here. Big reject. Might hold this 13, never know. About to be stopped out, I think. Just waiting for this candle closure below. Okay, we're going to get out right there. That's it. That's it for me, boys. 185, not the greatest, not the worst. It is what it is. I usually aim for like $300-400 on the day, but it is what it is. Flawless trading, man. That was really nice trading. Chart itself was beautiful. Nice scales, nice ads, everything about this. I wouldn't change a thing. Obviously, adding more size would have been good here. Just wasn't a huge fan of that candle, but it is what it is. That was dope. All right. I'm going to be out. Have a great weekend, you guys. Thank you so much for joining. That was sick. I had you guys on.